do my thing. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's, well, sum up Ding Dong Bing Bong. Say hello.
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 I'm sure there'll be more eventually.
Yeah, they're gonna
Mass is joining, but we're just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, okay, so the wait is finally over. We are doing Rain Code, but not Rain Code, the main game, but we're doing Rain Code, How to Be a Master Detective, a Yakou Furio case. I think I read his name wrong. Is it Furio or Furo? Furry, there you go.
It's Furio. It's Yakou Furio.
Okay, so, tell us about well, I'm gonna be recording this, and shouts out to Neo over there. Are you gonna be recording this or no?
Yes, I will be recording my side as well.
Yes, you're doing, like, snippets of funny moments, right? Oh, what, like, is claim funny moment, because the full thing will be posted on my channel. If you like.
basically think about it this way. Nick is doing the VODs, I'm making the supercuts, basically.
Exactly. Because my stuff is basically story. I love stories. Stories are... I love lore.
I love lore! Yeah!
We're in a server all about lore. For an
Exactly. I wonder why we're here. Probably because we love lore.
Raincoat lore! Yeah!
Right. We'll do it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wanted to restart my computer because...
Yeah, no, it's alright. Like I said, it doesn't take, like, that long to read this.
Although, now I think about it, the fact that it's focused on a specific character makes me think they gon' die.
I swear to God, if they fucking kill him, I'm gonna be so angry.
10 minutes.
I'm gonna fucking cry.
7 minutes. That's all the time you have to be alive.
I can't handle...
See, I see the rain, but where's the code?
Where's the...
Well, it's a video game, so it's inherently made of code. Why are you turning down the music?
Because, like, I need to hear everybody's voices on my end.
Oh, right.
It's loud for me, but y'all can adjust the volume.
But the jam...
I know that, like, as soon as I opened this up, I nearly ticked off my fucking bingo card of audibly pogging at the music, because I was like...
If you look at the background, you can see Jackie dying. That's a joke for Cyberpunk. People who played Cyberpunk.
Yeah. That does look like Arasaka. That does look like...
Oh my god, it kind of does look like the Arasaka Tower.
Yeah.
It's Amaterasu.
Amaterasu working with Arasaka.
You look like a slab of fuckable meat.
Okay. Yeah. Yakou Furio. Lazy and irresponsible at first glance, the Kanai Ward native is a detective and head of the only agency in the city, the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
He looks cool.
Even if you forget how to be angry, even if you forget how to be sad, even if you forget the blueness of the sky, even if you forget the shimmer of the stars.
The sky will never be blue again.
Blue, da-ba-doo. I only realized the loftiness of my expectations for how rewarding and exciting part-time work at a bar could be after those expectations weren't met. In other words, working at a bar was neither rewarding nor exciting. Learning to mix drinks and dealing with drunks were complete hassles, and there wasn't even the shoulder of a cute coworker to cry on. It was pretty much just me, the only part-timer, alone with the 40-something-year-old bearded owner. Sometimes I'd be left to fend for myself until the next day rolled around. There were plenty of reasons to leave, including the fact that it was a job anybody could do. Not to mention it was just too physically demanding. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually quit. Everyone around me was buckling down for college exams or making the most of their last summer of freedom, but I couldn't be bothered. If I quit my job, I'd have nothing to do. The clock was ticking, though. Living off the wages of a part-time bartender was rough.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, I'd end up in a Kanai Ward factory. Probably someplace like Amaterasu Corp, which had been making waves. Clock in for exactly 8 hours every day. Come evening, some boring book in one hand, a beer in the other. Repeat ad nauseum for 40, 50 years. Terrifying. Terrifying how perfectly clear that image is in my head. It was just nothing I wanted to be. Or rather, it's more like I don't think I can be what I want to be. And so to not have to deal with those sorts of unproductive thoughts, I mix drinks at a bar. Ice, whiskey, cola, ice, whiskey, soda, ice, whiskey, whiskey. The first 2 drinks should be stiff. The more booze flows, the less fussy customers tend to be. But get them too drunk and you only find yourself in more trouble, so hitting that sweet spot is key. The trick is to watch the eyelids. Even if someone looks sober, once the eyelids start to droop, it means they're 1 or 2 drinks away from a meltdown or throwing stuff around.
Press X to
But
down.
someone who looks dead drunk can stand firm on his own 2 feet all night long as long as his eyelids don't give. The most annoying customers are the ones who only order beer or drinks on the rocks. Simple orders, sure, but I can't adjust the strength of their drinks. All I can do is offer a chaser and hope the person I'm dealing with doesn't suck. A waste of my skills, dreams, and youth that would otherwise go completely unused. Also, I can snag a couple extra sales. Beardy left me alone today. Since all the customers has already left, I closed the till a little earlier than usual. Not bad earnings-wise. It is Friday, after all. As I count up the sales, I think about my crap hourly wage. I'm sure I put the sign closed on the door, but it suddenly bursts open all the same. Sorry, but we're already... Hand over the money. Yeah, someone else can do the fucking...
Hand over the money.
Speaking voices. What? 2 skinny guys in balaclavas, both holding black batons. Oh, one of the balaclavas walks right up to me and... Crack! It sound like one billiard ball smashing into another. There's an iron tang in the back of my nose. I find myself facing the ceiling. Huh? Oh, seems like I've been attacked.
Oh,
I turn my head in time to see... Oh, I've been impaled. I turn my head in time to see the backs of darkened figures as they scram out the front of the bar. I check the register sitting there on the counter, completely cleaned out, aside from a few coins. Tough break. Yeah, right. I rush out the bar in pursuit, but the balaclava boys are nowhere to be seen. What to do? Should I look around more? No, I should call the police. Wait, before that, I need to tell Beardy. Who wants to take this guy?
I got this.
Alright.
You alright?
A strange old guy in a beaten-up suit calls out to me. I'm pretty far from alright, but I'm not about to tell him that.
Your nose. It's leaking.
What? Then I realize it. The sensation of cold blood beneath my nostrils. And alongside that realization, feeling in the bridge of my nose like it's about to explode. Fuck. Can't read. I can't read.
The ghost face.
The ghost face.
You get robbed or what?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Yakou Furio.
Wrong. Your name's Adele Weber.
What?
You know the rundown office building on the other side of the hotel?
It used to have a cram school inside. Well,
They're on the 2nd floor. Go and give them that name. You'll get your money back.
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about?
It's true. I can see the future. I'm Sayaka.
It's not like I believe anybody can actually see the future. But when some middle-aged guy says something that cryptic, then disappears, holds a certain persuasive power over you. And to be honest...
Man, in Sayaka's outfit.
And to be honest, it would have been a hassle getting the police or Beardy involved. It's not like I get the money back. And more importantly, Beardy can be a total pill. So I went to the building to see for myself. Light's only seeping out of the windows on the 2nd floor. The old man was right. Seriously? Of course, that isn't proof the balaclavas from before are actually outside. But I'm hoping they are. I'm hoping what the man said about getting the money back is true. And what he said about being able to see the future is true. I wouldn't complain about a little excitement in this boring life of mine from time to time.
Wait, is
filled with
is the person that is the bearded guy could be Zange? No, not Zange. Eraser?
Number 1?
No, not.
Oh wait, no. Because Zange is Eraser. Zange Eraser.
Okay.
That's the old guy.
Could he?
But his forte is thoughtography, which means he can take something from his memory and put it on any electronic device.
Okay.
Oh, you mean Herman?
He can't see the future. We have no detectives so far that we know that can see the future.
I can see that.
All we have is Halara, who can basically see the past, kinda.
I can
Or
see
at
the
least a
future.
projection of
The
it.
sun will set in a few hours.
Half filled with prayer and half filled with excitement, I slowly climbed the pitch black stairwell of the building. Upon reaching the second floor, this is me falling down the stairs. Upon reaching the second floor, I find myself in front of a dented aluminum door. Light trickles through a pane of frosted glass at eye level. Those guys really are in this building. I'm in the right place. So what now?
Take the door down.
Am I supposed to kick down the door and tell them I'm Adel Weber, like the old guy told me to? Ridiculous. Even if this is their hideout, it's not like they'll believe me just because I say that name. And I doubt they're gonna put a stop at Nosebleed this time. I should definitely just call the police.
Is someone there?
Did they hear me? Or maybe they saw me through the glass? Whoa! The aluminum door bursts open, like someone kicked it from the other side.
Who the hell are you?
A young man who might be one of the balaclavas from earlier scowls at me. Behind him is a dusty room, roughly the size of a small studio apartment. In the center of the room is a large table littered with half-eaten rice. On either side of it are 2 shabby couches, their stuffing popping out. Seated on one of the couches is another young man, who could also be one of the balaclava boys. Hey, aren't you... Oh wait, no.
Hey.
That's
aren't
you.
you the guy from the bar?
Return the money, please.
Nuh-uh. Don't feel like it.
Fuck you mean, nah? the guy sitting on the sofa reaches one hand back without looking. A metal fucking bat sprouts from beneath him.
Oh god,
Behind him.
it's Leon.
It's Leon's joined the mafia. Crap, this really isn't going to end with just a nosebleed. The
Yes,
words
you
spill out from my mouth.
Hey,
before I
what
can
you
even think.
gobagles doing?
I'm Adel Weber.
Hmm?
The men look at one another. I can tell they're discussing something with those glances.
Adel? You don't think...
Think what? What are they thinking? I don't know. I have no idea. The only thing I do know is that if I stay here any longer, things aren't gonna end well for me. Please return it. Now.
Nuh-uh.
The men confer again with their eyes. Silence. I notice flecks of dust swirl before me.
We're sorry!
The guy holding the metal bat bows his head with fervor. Before I can blink, his partner up close does the same. Blood, likely frozen by the tension, resumes flowing through me. The edges of my vision flicker white. Adel Weber. Who the hell is he? It has to be someone whose face those guys don't know. Someone they can't refuse. And no explanation comes to mind. Maybe they're flunkies in some gang and Adel Weber is the name of their boss. Maybe he's so secretive even the other gang members don't know his face. Or maybe I've seen way too many B-movies. And when I ask who the hell he is, I also mean the man in the suit. He claimed he could see the future, but was he being serious?
Was I being gaslit?
Granted, he was right about the Adel Weber thing, and I did get the money back, and that doesn't prove he's clairvoyant. Hold on. What if the old man is actually Adel Weber?
Adel Weber.
I mean, he could be, right? And so, in conclusion, just who the hell is this Adel Weber guy? Well, anyway, I'd recovered the stolen money. Either because of the adrenaline had worn off, or because I just crossed an incredibly dangerous bridge, I found myself covered in goosebumps. If you had told me my skull was crushed by that metal bat and I was just a stand on the wall, I might have believed you. And so on that state, I made my way back to the bar.
If your head caved in?
Metaphorically. Also, it's you, Mass.
No, literally.
Metaphorically, I'm dead.
I told you, he dies before the story even begins. We've all been gaslit.
We've been dead the whole time.
I think that's you.
By the way, it's you, yeah. It's the old guy.
Shit. You're back early.
The old guy in the suit sitting at the counter says to me, somewhat casually, I know words. Shut
Are you
up.
sure?
Reading so much for like such a long time like makes me start to like fucking like hallucinate words that aren't there. What are you doing here?
Nothing, really. I just thought you'd want a proper farewell is all.
I appreciate it, but I have no idea what's going on.
Before we get into that, how'd it go? You get the money back?
Yeah, thanks to you. But what's this all about? Can you really see the future? And what's the deal with Ada Weber? And...
Oh, right. I'm a master detective.
Huh?
Know what I'm talking about? Master detectives?
I mean, I've heard things, but... Master detectives. Sleuths with extraordinary abilities belonging to an extra-legal, extra-privileged organization devoted to eradicating the world's unsolved mysteries. The World Detective Organization.
I gotta say, I think what's gonna happen, this old man's gonna die, and Yakou's gonna be like, damn, he died because of me. Now I need to find this master detective group and join them. That's
That's your prediction?
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Alright. Telekinesis, clairvoyance, mind reading, the ultimate detectives, heroes.
The ultimate detective?
The ultimate Shuichi Saihara. Kyoko.
It's me.
Back.
It's you again, Mass.
Oh, no kidding. You're pretty well informed.
When I was a kid, I mean, I'm still a kid, but I used to want to be a detective. Oh, that means your forensic forte is being able to see the future, right?
Yeah, my forte is called foresight. When I touch someone, I can see the next hour of their life. Well, I say see, but it's more like instant imprint in my mind.
Hold on a second. If you have to touch someone physically for your power to work, does that mean you touched the robbers earlier?
Yeah, they bumped right into me when they left the bar, causing a ruckus, so I looked into the future, saw their hideout. It was on the other side of the hotel. Their boss's last name was Weber. And that he had a little brother named Adele. Didn't seem to know the brother, so I gave you the name.
I see. Boss's little brother. That does explain what happened earlier, but...
So yeah, about 16 goons are gonna come in here with really big guns.
Beat your ass?
Oh, no, you're just gonna be a splatter on the floor, but I'm parched. How about pouring me a beer?
Sure, no problem, but...
After I just told you we're gonna
But
die.
what? If you got something to say it.
I'm just wondering if it's all true. You did help me out earlier, but that doesn't mean you couldn't have known about the robbery before then. Might even be the boss or his brother, Ada Weber, as cliche as it sounds. And to be frank, it's hard to imagine a real master detective would just be sitting in front of me.
You did mention something about wanting to be a detective. Pain in my ass.
Sorry.
First of all, the name is Mitsumi. Mitsumi Haring, not Adele Weber. Second, if you want proof I can see the future...
Mitsume places the palm of his hand on his forehead as if he were checking for a fever.
There we go. You see that woman in the dress through the glass door, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh.
A woman in black... A woman in a black dress walks towards us from an alley.
And there's a man in a hoodie by the pole in front of her, yeah?
Yeah?
The woman is going to walk past the man in the hoodie. After 3 seconds, she'll drop something like a handkerchief or a scarf. The man will step forward to pick it up, just as she realizes she dropped it and turns around. A chance encounter. They'll recognize each other, decide to grab drinks, and walk away.
He lays it all out in detail. The woman walks past the man in the hood. 1, 2... Oh, she drops her scarf. Needless to say, the rest plays out just like Mitsume had predicted.
I saw my own future. The future we're witnessing now.
Rad. He's the real deal. I fucking love how he uses that.
Rad.
To think that someone as terrifying as a master detective is here in Kanai Ward. What's he doing in a place like this? Is he working a case? What kind of cases has he solved before? The questions bubble up like a freshly opened bottle of tonic water. But first, I have to thank you properly.
Don't worry about it. This felt like helping. If you must, how about bringing me that beer?
But I'd feel bad if I couldn't do something to pay you back. That's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie! Of
It's
course
a
I
lie!
want to thank him.
I'm here! I've always been here!
I don't want this meeting to end. I want to get into his good graces.
Oh, yeah?
He thinks for a second.
No.
How about working part-time for my detective agency?
Huh?
It'd suit you better than this place.
And so, I started working at Mitsumi's detective agency, the Kanai Ward branch of the World Detective Organization. I quit my job at the bar without a second thought. Who's here?
Stranded slasher.
Hold on. Alright. And so I started working at Mitsume's detective agency, the Kanai Ward branch of the World Detective Organization. I quit my job at the bar without a second thought. It occurred to me again that the reason I'd kept mixing drinks was because I was worried about not having anything to do. I was so excited to start my new, extraordinary life, working under a master detective. But it wasn't what I expected. The only cases assigned to me involved finding lost cats and investigating cheating spouses.
You should be grateful, you ungrateful prick.
Let's see. Dumbass! How are you gonna help out with requests from the WDO? Those are top secret. You get the run-of-the-mill stuff I don't need to be bothered with. The easy jobs. Make sense?
Also, I love how the I've probably noticed this before, but I haven't commented on it yet. But I love how the WDO's logo has cats with wings.
Ha.
They love cats, and Halara loves cats. And Zilch is maybe a cat.
Red Bull moment.
Cat boy.
Cat boy.
Red Bull gives you
Red Bull gives you a wing.
I swear to
Rain
God,
code
if you
was sponsored by Red
associate me with our logo, I will kill you.
Makes sense. A silly dream shattered in an instant. By the way, the office was as typical gets. Just a normal room in a regular office building. I'd fantasized about hidden doors behind bookshelves, which would subsequently lead to rooms filled with cutting-edge tech. You can imagine my disappointment when I first saw a branch office of the world-renowned WDO. So that's probably why he made the new headquarters, like, on a fucking ship. He was just like, yeah, this is cool as far. Better than an office building.
Oh, Dan, sorry. Only the diffident would get hung up on that kind of crap.
I like to say about the submarine part.
Yeah.
If they're in a submarine, they can just simply like go to place to place. Like if they're done with.
Maybe it depends. Like if it's seaworthy,
And
like if it can actually move, it doesn't implode. Yeah, I get it, but it's natural for a teenage boy to have that sort of expectation, right? That said, since I'd started working at Mitsume's agency, my day-to-day life blossomed. Partly because I'd wanted to be a detective ever since I was a kid, and partly because even seemingly straightforward jobs required some degree of creativity. Take a lost cat, for example. I'd have to consider its personality, lifestyle, the surrounding geography, and so on if I wanted to guess where it might be. If I found it, I'd feel like I'd just beaten a game. If I didn't, it became trial and error. There was something to learn in that repetition. Adultery cases were usually depressing, but staking out a hotel made me feel like I was doing real detective work. And although it wasn't like me, Even I'd get swept up in the emotion of it all when a client tearfully said something like, now I can start my life over. But when I reported to Mitsume about these experiences, I'd be met with a cold expression.
Mitsune's cold.
You're a real detective once those
You're as
emotions
cold
end.
as a...
Once it becomes routine, it no longer affects you.
Then why are you a detective? What's your motivation now?
I don't need motivation. A pro just gets the job done.
Real?
For real.
I mean, for real?
Real!
I mean, I had already figured this emotional high wouldn't last forever, but Mitsume's words hit me harder than anything Beardy had ever said. I learned I was the shallow type of person who puts title and position above all else.
Oh god, it's Hajime.
Because truthfully... Maybe that's why he's drawn with Hajime in the little art.
Yeah. Man.
Got an
And it also fits because they're both the only ones without, like, a power.
Oh yeah.
Nothing made me happier than when Mitsume praised me. Me, having a knack for anything. I couldn't help but chuckle to myself. Driven by that high, I felt nothing but respect for him at first. The master detectives are human too. And when it came to women, Mitsume was particularly human. More than once, I'd arrived at the office to find a strange woman sleeping on the couch. During one such occasion, another woman showed up at the same time. The two women inevitably met, and Mitsume ran off after telling me to take care of it. In the end, both women waited in the office all day, and after listening to Mitsume make his sweat-laden excuse upon his return, slapped him in the face. It was the first time I'd seen an adult grovel on his knees. Also,
I imagine that's in the femdom, kid.
I also sometimes wondered if there was some hidden meaning to the assignments Mitsume threw my way.
Damn, he's
Like the time I had to sit in a specific seat in a cafe for a whole day. Literally just sit. When I endlessly tailed some guy without knowing when I endlessly tailed some guy without knowing a single thing about him. A chubby guy in red sweats. Followed him the entire day and didn't see anything suspicious. I swear to God. They were Mitsume's orders, which meant there had to be some intention behind them. And thus, I tackled them all with diligence. I also scrubbed the bathroom in the office until it shined. Inevitably, I started to realize that detective work was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. But anybody can dream. The hard part's keeping that dream alive. It's been 2 months since I started working at Mitsume's detective agency. I'm in the red light district, hunting for a lost cat. The lights around me dim as I turn into an alley. In that moment, a large black car stops at the side of the road. Thank you for the sound effects. At the driver's seat and riding shotgun are the balaclava boys from before. This time, they're barefaced and wearing ill-fitting suits. I hide behind a telephone pole as soon as I recognize them. How, they can't perfectly hide you. I don't think so.
I don't think you're that skinny, Yakou.
Yeah, I don't think...
Yakou hadn't eaten for 3 months.
Up to no good again, I guess. Or maybe they just finished? As I observe them, I notice Mitsume in the back seat. Gasp. He's laughing with the man beside him. The man has tattoos in a circular pattern beneath both eyes. Teardrops. Lots of them.
Uh-oh.
It's customary for gangbangers to... Why is it called that?
What?
It's customary for gangbangers
that's an actual
to
term.
Yeah, that's an actual term.
I'm just not familiar with the term. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about this shit. It's customary for gangbangers to get a teardrop tattooed for each person they kill, right? Yeah. In that case, how many lives has this guy taken? Wait, hold on. Could the tattooed man be Edelweber's older brother? The boss of the Balaclava Boys? That would explain why one of them's the driver. But why is Mitsume joking around with a gang boss? Is Mitsume actually the boss's younger brother? No. The tattooed man looks younger. If anything, he'd be Mitsume's younger brother. But that would make Mitsume the boss. Maybe they're just friends? Business partners? Whatever the case, I'd been duped. But in what way? To what end? I continue watching as whatever strength holding me up drains from my legs.
Listen.
How long has it been now? 10 minutes?
Yako, I'm doing this because, well, blah, blah, blah. A detective gotta do what they gotta do to solve a case, blah, blah, blah.
After they wrap up their friendly chat, Mitsume hands the tattooed man an envelope. He checks the contents. A fat stack of cash.
Yeah, brother.
His fingers flicker as he counts it. He grins with an expression that says, "All here." Mitsume exits the car along with the balaclava boys. Turning to face them, he lowers his head to a bow of thanks. What? Then disappears into the red light district. My legs finally give out. Behind closed eyelids, a
Hey,
white
guess his
haze
Discord
whirls.
crashed.
Yours?
Oh,
What did I miss?
basically, I don't know what you missed. I don't know how long you were clocked out.
Let's see. He was talking about how maybe Mitsumi might be associated with.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
if anything, he'd been Mitsume's younger brother, but that would make Mitsume the boss. Are they just friends, business partners, whatever the case?
There
I've
we
been
go.
duped. But in what way? To what end? I continue watching as whatever strength holds me up drains me from my legs. How long has it been now? 10 minutes? After they wrap up their friendly chat, Mitsume hands the tattooed man an envelope. He checks the contents, a fat stack of cash. His fingers flicker as he counts it. He grins with an expression that says, "All here." Mitsume exits the car along with the balaclava boys. Turning to face them, he lowers his head in a bow of thanks. What? Then disappears into the red light district. Yeah. Legs finally give out. Behind closed eyelids, a white haze whirls.
My legs
hell?
finally
What's
give
going
out.
on?
Knees weak. Mom spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Mitsume gave them
Don't crash
money,
again.
so he must be involved in something shady, right? But he's a master detective of the World Detective Organization. Wait, what if he's been lying about being a master detective? No, he definitely saw the future. Even if he knew the location of the Balaclava boys' hideout because he was in bed with them, that wouldn't explain how he knew what would happen outside the bar. Unless that was also some kind of trick. We need a woman.
Yako!
Huh?
Oh, Skipper, you do this?
Yakou?
I turn my head up toward the voice. Who is this again? A woman in her mid-20s.
Did you already forget? But we met at the detective agency. Remember? I ran into that other woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Ihab, but you can call me Iha.
The name doesn't ring a bell, but she's definitely one of Mitsume's playmates.
Oh, Mitsumi sucks.
What's wrong? Oh, wait, no.
What's wrong? What's wrong? You look terrible.
Well, that's... Never mind. I'm just dealing with some personal issues.
Does it have something to do with Mitzi?
What makes you think that?
All he does is make the people around him cry, including me and other women, of course. He's not a bad guy, though. Oh, but I guess that's something people usually say about bad guys.
Did you know he can see the future?
Huh? The future? Like ESP?
Yeah. He claims that if he touches someone, he can see the next hour of their life.
Oh, you're joking.
Mitsume usually kept quiet about being a master detective, so it's not surprising Ihab doesn't know. But it makes sense if you think about it, right? If Mitsume can see the future, it'd explain everything.
You want to believe him, don't you?
I guess so.
But it's not true. He can't see the future. If he could, he wouldn't be so terrible with women. And I wouldn't have bumped into that other woman.
Well, you see, there are special conditions for his power to work, and...
He would have to touch me, right? That's the condition. He certainly did that. And then some.
This guy fucking sucks.
Sexy. Not...
God damn it.
The extent of my knowledge about that kind of thing is limited to what I've seen in books and videos. Nothing more.
Okay,
But if she says that's what happened...
He's a good boy.
He's a little good boy. But if she says that's what happened, then that's what happened. The conditions must have been met. Maybe he has a personal policy to not use his foresight in private matters? Or maybe it goes against his principles. But that's a lot to assume of him. Hypothetically speaking, what if Mitsume is a fraud? He wouldn't be able to see the future. But if that were true, he wouldn't have been able to predict what we saw through the glass door of the bar. Did he hire actors beforehand, anticipating I doubt his abilities? No. What would be the point of doing that all just to fool me? Or maybe that scene he predicted was actually one that happened all the time and I just never noticed. And again, he said the woman would suddenly drop her scarf. For him to know that, he had to be clairvoyant. When the deductions don't add up, investigate the scene. I parted ways with Ehab and went back to my old bar. I didn't burn any bridges when I quit, but I also didn't want to deal with Beardy. My reluctance was ultimately unwarranted, as he'd already hired a new part-timer. A cute one at that. Seems like he hadn't given my resignation a second thought. If anything, he was probably grateful I left.
I'm gonna assume that the cute one is just a guy.
I will say there's no gendered terms used for the new part-timer. So he literally could be saying cute to any gender. He's so fucking bi. I'm telling you. I ordered Colas. Sit in the same seat Mitsume sat in when he made his prediction and look out the glass door. No sign of the woman or the man in the hood from before. The current time is a little earlier than the time at which Mitsume had made his prediction back then.
Looking at men and women, if you know what I mean.
Before I entered the bar, I looked around the area where the woman had dropped her scarf, but didn't find an air vent or any other contrivance that could have increased the likelihood of someone dropping something. I continue observing through the glass door, but no ideas come to mind. There's only the melting of ice in my drink.
Excuse me?
Is the expression on my face that dour? The part-timer who had taken over my position speaks to me gingerly.
It's the last call. Would you like anything else?
Oh, I'm not sure I'm even gonna finish this. That's right. Fundamentals. After investigating the scene, the next step is to question witnesses. Can I ask you something? Have you ever looked through the glass door and seen a woman drop her scarf near the pole?
No, I don't think so.
Figured as much.
Oh, that must have been the cue, right?
The Q?
You don't know? The other day, a group of drug dealers were arrested. I guess they were selling on the streets around here, because the owner and I were both questioned by the police. They said the dealers and customers had a secret way of communicating with each other, and it sounded like that might be what you were describing.
That's it. Mitsume knew the man by the pole was the dealer, the woman approaching was a customer, and what their secret cue was. The way he described it made it sound like he could see the future. But come to think of it, he was vague when he said she'd drop a handkerchief or a scarf. He knew the cue was to drop something made of cloth, but didn't know what it'd be. Then it's confirmed. Mitsume can't see the future. He lied about belonging to the World Detective Organization. He's just a local detective with ties to a criminal outfit.
Boo!
Boo! But I still can't figure out why he helped me after I had been robbed. Did he want to grunt around to take care of easy jobs for him? Did he just want to mess with the Balaclava boys? There are plenty of explanations, and they all fit in. Still, I don't want to believe it. I want to believe Matsume. I want to believe he really is a master detective who can see the future, that he's working towards some goal I can't even imagine, that all of my suspicions will be flipped around in one triumphant final move, like in a game of checkers.
Yakou, you are...
Something like that.
This man.
I can't help but believe in that sort of future. To come straight back from the red light district, Mitsume was lying on the couch, puffing a cigarette with a newspaper in hand.
Matt?
I'm here.
Oh, hey.
Huh? What's up? What's that scary-looking face?
I told him everything. That I saw him hand money to the tattooed man in the black car, that I figured out the foresight trick he had pulled at the bar.
Oh, that.
Despite the weight of my accusations, Mitsume's expression didn't change. Smoke seeps from his mouth as he exhales. A nerve-wracking 2 or 3 seconds. I lose the battle of wills and begin blurting out words.
You bit!
You bitch! But why? Did someone force your hand? Or there's some kind of hidden agenda, right?
Nah.
Nuh-uh.
He puts out the cigarette. Unbothered expression on his face, he continues.
You're right about everything. I can't see the future. I'm not a master detective with the WDO. I'm just another private eye born and raised in the canal.
Whoops! Sorry. Sorry. I accidentally...
No, where you going? Now we have to go back.
4 scores and wait, we went too far.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
Call me Ishmael. I'm just another private eye born and raised in the Kanai ward. I cover up the tattooed guy's crimes. In return, his boys tread some morally great territory to help me with my work. I lied to you about seeing the future because I wanted to have some fun with the goons. And because I thought the place could use a maid.
Bitch.
Well...
He lights up another smoke like it's an afterthought.
Valuable lesson, don't you think? That's what being a detective is all about. What now? Quit crying! Thought you were a man.
You're one to talk.
I take it you're quitting?
Do you even need to ask?
Fuck you.
It didn't hurt. Too much. When I think about what happened at Mitsume's detective agency, it feels like a story someone else told me. Like it isn't real because I didn't personally experience it, so it doesn't affect me. Even factoring in all the deception, I can shrug it off because it's not my problem. Maybe the shock of finding out I'd been duped triggered a subconscious defense mechanism that's protecting me from dealing with the pain directly. Well, so be it. I have no desire to face it head on. Thus ends the Yakou Furio part-timer at a detective agency chapter of my life. Truth be told, I still wanted to know if the jobs Mitsume sent me on, like finding cats, investigating cheating spouses, as well as the ones I couldn't explain, sitting in a cafe all day or following someone around unnoticed, actually had a hidden meaning. Was it some sort of fundamental detective training? Maybe it was just an excuse to get me out of the office so he could bring women back. Anything seemed possible. Well, whatever. Who cares? Someone so easily fooled isn't cut out for detective work anyway. It's alright. What I should have been thinking about was what to do with my free time. I quit the bar, quit the agency, and was back at square one. I finally have to decide what to do with my life, and I don't want to think about it yet. I tried looking for a new part-time job, but the idea of tutoring at a cram school or working in food service feels off. So I've been going to arcades instead. Sometimes I challenge nerds and delinquents into fighting games, and sometimes I kill time with puzzle games. I'm burning through the money I'd saved up from working. I'm intentionally cutting off my escape routes, though I don't plan on making the arcade my home. That said, after a month as a regular, I've gotten pretty good. Sometimes when I score off with someone on the other side of the cabinet who's on my level, a crowd forms. All dudes, of course. Arms crossed or chins in hands. They scrutinize my matches as if they have control over the outcome. Actually, I don't hate it. When I win, the reserved applause goes beyond the wow, cool type of platitude you get from some chick. It's genuine admiration. Craving that validation, I grip the stick and hit the buttons. I block my opponent's attacks with precise timing and take advantage of their openings to land weak but confirmed counters. His gradually depleting HP bar is the remaining distance to the finish line. It calls to me. Okay, we need another person.
Me?
Sure.
Yakou, so this is where you've been.
What? My opponent combos into a super that lands squarely on my chin. My fighter, a capoeirista, is sent flying and lands on his back. Sparse applause sounds. Not for me. My eyes narrow as I turn toward the voice.
Oh, this was Eva.
A woman. A woman with a familiar voice. Familiar face stands before me, whose name I don't recall. Mitsume's playmate number 2.
Oh.
She bumped into Ehad that one time. Kiriko from Overall!
Shut up.
Zilch Cornelius. Remember me? Maybe not. It's been a while.
You have a deep voice.
Long time no see.
I've been looking for you. I don't have your info, and Mitsume said he didn't know where you were either.
Why? What do you need from me?
Well, I have a request. A mystery I want you to solve.
A mystery? You mean like a case?
Exactly. An unsolved case.
In short, Kiriko's story. She had a twin sister. Deja vu?
I've been in this place before.
Me.
I think it's Ange Cornelius. Because, like, there's no I, so it's not Angie.
You need to talk to her,
Is it Ange? I think that's probably not it.
I think it's Angie. I think it might be Angie.
It's just some weird way to spell Angie. Or is it Angie?
You need to talk to her.
Angie? Is it Angie? I don't know. Cornelius. The incident occurred 12 years ago when they were both elementary school students. Angie disappeared without a trace.
Bathroom break.
Alrighty. I mean, 15 minutes left. Well, about that much. We're gonna wait a little bit. Yo.
Alright,
Angie disappeared without a trace. Police organized a search, but they couldn't find her. 12 years passed without any leads. However, bones believed to belong to Angie washed up on the river bank in Kanai Ward's Kamasaki district a few days ago. During the course of forensic investigation, the bones were found
stabbed in the back of the neck.
Bones were found to belong not to Angie, but to her sister, Kiriko Cornelius.
What?
We decided an arcade wasn't the best place for a conversation of this magnitude and relocated to a cafe. Kiriko calmly takes a drag of her cigarette. None of it makes any sense. There are a few things bothering me.
Skip her. Skipper is dead.
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Whose line is next?
Yours.
It's yours. You're... Of course, ask away.
There are a few things bothering me.
No, it's... Of course, ask away. That's your
Of course, ask away.
Are you saying the two of you were switched? If Kiriko is the one who died, that would make you the supposedly missing Angie, correct?
Not quite. It's still under investigation. But it's a possibility. I've gone my entire life thinking I'm Kiriko Cornelius. Maybe I'm really Ange. I've been swapped and just never realized it.
But why do you want me to solve it? I'm not Mitsume, and this sort of thing you ask the WDO to handle.
I can't tell you that yet.
You can't tell me?
You'll understand once you arrive at the scene, the riverbank where the bones washed up.
Why can't you just tell me now?
Like I said, it'll all make sense once you're there. Oh, and don't tell Mitsume about this.
I can't wrap my head around it. Why, after 12 years, are bones discovered belonging to the sister who had been living a normal life till now, rather than the sister who had disappeared?
So I was on a call with my mom, so can you scroll up a little bit to see if I...
Yeah. Years are bones discovered belonging to the sister who had been living a normal life till now, rather than the sister who had disappeared. Why, of all people, am I being asked to investigate this case? There isn't a single mystery in this world I should have to solve. Hell, the mystery itself probably doesn't want me solving it. But what if it does? What if it's a mystery only I can solve? Or rather, what if it's a mystery that wants to be solved by me specifically? A story that doesn't begin until I take on the mantle of a detective. I had already decided to pretend my dream never existed in the first place, and yet my heart raced. It sped up as the distance between me and detective closed. Alright then. I stopped my bike at the riverbank and surveyed the area. Kiriko, Angie, said I would understand once I was there, but there are no signs of a police investigation, and I have no idea where the bones had washed up. All I know is what the noise and light reflecting off the surface of the black water tells me. The river is raging.
Sadako.
Who wants to be unfamiliar voice?
Yo, you made it.
An unfamiliar voice from behind. The instant realization that I'd made a critical mistake.
Uh-oh.
I turn away from the black water. Before me is a man with tattoos. Teardrops. Lots of them. Behind him are a dozen or so barefaced young men, including the balaclava boys, each holding matching batons. The tattooed man begins to speak with a smirk, as if he was putting on a performance.
I missed you, baby bro. You are Adol Weber, my younger brother, aren't you?
What do you want? Why go through all this trouble to bring me out here?
Don't you think...
Who's here?
The mobster.
Hello, Moss.
Don't you think you owe me an apology first?
Why would I apologize for getting back stolen money? If anyone should apologize...
Shit! Shut up! Shut up!
The tattooed man moves closer. I have to get out of here. I look both ways, but I'm trapped. Whichever direction I run, one of the goons is gonna get me. Jump in the river! Just as I make the realization, there's an iron tang in the back of my nose, and I find myself facing the sky.
You quit working for Mitsumi, huh?
Another blow to my face.
Guess that means I got no reason to hold back.
Again in the face. My cheek is kissing the pavement. The tattooed man straddles around my waist. My arms take the brunt of the damage meant for my face. My brain latches onto the one thing as it's being rocked. He doesn't have to hold back because I quit working for Mitsume. Confirmation that two of them had been working together. Dirty cops and gang members don't mess with each other's people. Guess that quid pro quo type of relationship meant I had protection until now.
Wow! Damn, man, look at this!
The tattoo man gets up and kicks me once in the ribs. I reflexively curl into a ball and take another kick to the back of my head. My consciousness leaps, or rather, it soars from me for a second. It returns and I wonder, is this really happening just because I took back the money?
Bastard, always in the way, doing whatever you please is you.
What? Always in the way? Pleases me?
You know you're gonna die, right? You don't have to look up someone who accepted it yet.
He says this with a red and bloodshot glare. Huh? What? I'm a little scared. Please, wait. He delivers the strongest kick yet to my stomach, and I believe everything he says. He's going to kill me. I'll become a tattoo under his eyes. But always in the way? Doing whatever pleases me? I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm gonna be killed because of it. I can't even draw a breath and try to explain. There were still plenty of things I wanted to do. I wanted to travel abroad and experiment with a girl and become a detective. Yeah, I wanted to become a detective. Gay? I wonder what's going on.
My word was to experiment with a girl and I got excited. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride!
Wait, no, this is unfortunately straight.
Yeah, goes by as fuck in my books. Like, literally, the fact that they didn't specify that the bartender he called cute, like, they didn't give the gender for that person, I highly believe it's just bi-coded.
I'm pretty sure we'll find out in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure. When the tattooed man stopped kicking me, or am I already dead? In my current state of mind, I hear sirens. I can't tell if they're real or imaginary. Did some kind soul call them? Oop, who died?
Off.
Oh, it was Ma. I managed to raise my head and try to grasp the situation. First, it doesn't seem like I'm dead. Second, this feels real. 6 police cars are parked along the vastness of the riverbank. The cops that spilled out from them are running around shouting and threatening the goons.
What's the noise?
It's Nick. The goons, including the tattooed man, look bewildered.
Damn it!
Damn! Oh, that's you. The tattooed man takes off at full speed. Freeze, creep! An officer gives chase.
Not happening! I
One of the
back!
tattooed man's henchmen tackles the officer, and the two crash into the ground. That triggers an all-out war.
Uh-oh.
The hell? I don't know what's going on, but it seems I'm saved. Oh,
This.
Mitsume!
fuck, shit.
It's okay.
Yo! Long time no see you, cow.
Yeah, cow? Huh?
Cow.
I follow the source of the voice as he enters my field of vision. Of course.
Now I need to make an edit of cow. You
Your nose. It's leaking.
Mitsume. It's not just my nose, is it?
Nope, you look like shit.
What the hell is going on?
I'll explain everything, but first...
What's with that intense glare? Mitsume lowers his head to peer into my eyes.
My bad for being late.
What?
We were planning to arrive sooner, but I got a bit tied up.
Please stop bowing. And what do you mean? What are you apologizing for? Mitsume raises his head and fiddles with his lighter, trying to light a cigarette.
Simply put, it's just a job.
A job?
Truth is, all that stuff about being a master detective who can see the future isn't true. I really am just a local private eye.
Yeah, but... He sits down on the spot. Finally successful in lighting up his smoke, he gets comfortable and goes on.
Just like you said, I partnered up with Tattoo Face and his runts. But I also had ties with the police. Detectives are basically mercenaries. You know, so that kind of thing happens.
It's still you.
This
Just
is
went
when
on
it
to a
gets
different character.
complicated. About a week before I bumped into you, the police asked me to work with them in bringing down that gang. They're starting to get out of hand, so the police offered me a pretty sweet deal. Naturally, I accepted. Coincidentally, I ran into you. The person they just robbed. Figured I could use you. So I set you as bait to lure them into blatantly committing a crime. And the police took care of the rest.
Blatantly?
You know they were about to kill you, right? At least the Big Brother Weber was. At the very least, Big Brother Weber is gonna get slapped with an attempted murder charge.
So, you were planning this from the day we met?
That's the gist of it.
Okay, but you don't actually have a foresight or whatever, so...
You remember all those meaningless jobs I sent you on? Sitting at a specific seat in a cafe all day, endlessly tailing someone you didn't know a thing about? It was all to disrupt their drug deals. The cafe you sat in was where their transactions went down. The person you followed around with no subtlety, but you're really shit, was a dealer. The gang let you be since you were with me, but their hatred built up all the same. They were ready to snuff you the second you left my protection. By the way, when you saw me handing money over to Big Brother Weber, that was me making up for your actions. It was an apology for how you were interfering with their business going about as you pleased.
As I pleased?
Right, I told him you were acting alone out of your own weird sense of justice.
I see. I had been in the way, doing as I pleased, completely without my knowledge.
Last thing.
Asshole.
Oh, whole thing flash screen. That's fun. One last thing. Oh, stop flashing green.
Yes. Goddamn.
If the plan was to book them, why not strike while they're in the middle of the deal? Sounds like a good idea, but wouldn't have worked. Big Brother Weber, old tattoo face, rarely gets his hands dirty. Even if we hit the sites where the deals go down, we'd only catch the small fry. That wouldn't have fixed anything. That's why we had to use you as bait, whether it was to maintain discipline in the ranks, or to keep the underlings afraid. Only the boss decided when it was time to kill someone. So I made him want to murder ya.
Asshole.
Oh, sorry about that. School hard knocks, right?
First and foremost, are you kidding? They were about to kill me. That kind of apology isn't worth shit. I could have actually died. Fuck off! But at the same time, ran. Whatever.
Well, here's the thing. You've outused your usefulness, so...
Bang.
Whatever little my brain that's
Where you're standing must be a like you're on a 14-karat string of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Whatever little my brain that's still functional can figure out this much.
Also, Yakou
And this is just a regular detective. Oh no. This is just a regular detective. Imagine how impressive master detectives belonging to the WDO must be. Thinking about what's coming. Thinking about the fucking weirdos we're gonna meet. Whatever anger and dejection I feel over being used as a pawn is supplanted by envy for detectives. That said, I forced my aching body up and shoved Mitsume by the shoulder.
Who is
Mitsume, the man who cannot see the future, falls into the evening river.
I'm gonna have super cancer! What the fuck was that about?
Simply put, it's just payback. That was dangerous. I actually came close to respecting that fraud.
You're gonna die now!
Thanks to Mitsume, you've been cursed! The gang has been dismantled. With that, Kanai Ward became just a little more peaceful.
Yeah, super can.
It doesn't feel that way, but it must be, right? As for me, I returned to my part-time job at Mitsume's agency. Lost cats and cheating spouses. Plus, occasionally assisting Mitsume when he'd get a request. Stuff that felt like real detective work. No more concerns about my future path anymore. I tossed those aside. I decided I'd train here a bit longer and become a detective. It was embarrassing to admit, but I still hadn't told Mitsume. 2 months passed after my return to the office. And just like that, my life as I know it comes to an abrupt end. Mitsume.
The detective agency is finished.
What? What did you do?
What's that supposed to mean? I'm getting married!
What?
To Ehab! You met her, didn't you?
Oh. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're moving to her hometown. Not sure if I'll set up a new office there, but I'm finished here.
An unexpected ending, but a happy one. Happy? Happy. A happy ending. As if.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
For what Ehab said, it didn't seem like she thought much of Mitsume. But I guess people just say things sometimes. I still don't understand a woman's heart.
Bye.
What about you?
But
Have you decided what you're going to do with your life?
I was thinking of becoming a detective. Not yet. It's something I've wanted since I was a kid, and it looks like it could be fun from what I've seen.
Not a bad idea.
Beaten to death, man.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm serious. Makes me kind of happy. Feels like my time as a detective in this town has some meaning.
Huh. I see. That's one way to look at it. My desire to become a detective gives meaning to Mitsume's efforts here as a detective. While ultimately, it's my dream, something I'm doing for my own sake. I want to become the type of detective who makes people happy to have me around. And that's it!
28 stab wounds!
Yeah, and the afterword from the writers. I hope you enjoyed How to Be a Master Detective. Yakou Furio case.
Ago?
This novel is about an event that took place more than a decade before the main game, but you can read it before or after playing.
Yakou is going to die!
It's Yakou! If you're going to start, it's the same thing as fucking Date. Y'all keep saying date, it's fucking Date.
Date.
It's Yakou!
Hey, Iridot.
Hello?
Hey! We just finished
Hi.
reading.
Fuck.
I
Well,
put,
shit.
Well, shit.
I am raising all the death flags in the world.
Kodaka.
Kodak, he's here!
My favorite character.
he's about to give us more Ultra Despair Girls content.
No!
Oh, no.
Abort!
Run.
What the hell does that supposed to mean? I'm Karakuma. I rule this fucking city. I'm the head
We built this.
of a
We're
Makawa.
not the